Andrew Cuomo is as defiant as ever. The New York government is refusing again to apologize for his growing nursing home scandal. Instead, Cuomo is blaming the controversy on lies and misinformation. Watch this.
We created the void by not producing enough public information quickly enough. I get that. But then it was exploited with misinformation, people playing politics, Republicans playing politics, personal attacks, personal agendas. No one has a right to spread lies or misinformation that causes pain to families. It is a lie to say any numbers were inaccurate. That is a lie.
While Cuomo pretends that what he did is just some conspiracy theory, the walls are closing in on him. New York Republicans are starting the process to impeach the governor, and a new watchdog report says Cuomo's nursing home policy may have led to over 1,000 deaths. I'll go to you, Jesse. The governor being defiant and saying basically, I didn't push back hard enough, I didn't produce enough public information fast enough. Do you buy that?
Yeah, that's like, yeah, he says, yeah, we just created a void of information. Really? Imagine if Trump told Mueller to stuff it and wasn't turning over documents and said, I'm just creating a void of information. Judge, I'm not going to pay my taxes this year, and I'm just going to tell the IRS, I'm just creating a void of taxes. I mean, who gets away with a lie like that? And then he says, oh, yeah, we never were inaccurate on the nursing home fatality numbers. I mean, as of last week, we found out, yeah, I mean, at least he didn't go to Cancun. This guy's out of his mind. I read this thing. I'm sure Dana read it. She's not here today. It was in the Washington Post by Mark Thiessen. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I think it's Mark Thiessen. And he said it's not just that you're obstructing a federal investigation. It's that in March and April, he was obstructing in real time information to be given to scientists and federal health officials who needed to be learning about the virus, the mutation, the spread, where it was happening, who was it going to, and they weren't able to get access to that. And he said a great analogy, and I'm the king of analogies. He said this is like providing false intelligence to battlefield commanders about the location of the enemy in a time of war. And now it's gotten so bad, AOC is calling for an investigation. So you know Cuomo's in deep doo-doo.
Well, you know, at the very least, Juan, shouldn't there be a removal of the emergency pandemic powers that the governor has until this is sorted out by the FBI, by the Brooklyn United States Attorney's Office, and the Letitia James is Attorney General's office?
Well, I don't know exactly what the powers are, Judge, but I think that what you're going to see is a very thorough investigation. I think you notice so many Democrats are highly critical. Yeah, so the Democrats are highly critical, including Letitia James, the Attorney General, who has ambition to become governor herself. So you can imagine that's going to be pretty aggressive investigation done there.
So are you questioning her numbers? Saying he counted by... Okay, go ahead.
No, I think, I mean, his best defense is that the total numbers are not wrong. But I don't think there's any question from all that I've seen that the numbers to the nursing homes were not right. And he should apologize for that. He should specifically apologize to families that were impacted by this. But I just think that you got to understand the nature. I'm sorry.
Yeah, let me go to Greg because we don't have a lot of time here. Greg, is an apology at this point enough once his own party is calling him out, seeking to impeach him, seeking to remove his emergency powers, and the feds as well as the state are on him?
I think you need an investigation. I don't think an apology is enough. I mean, the magic word, obviously, today was void. The problem is it worked because now you realize he is avoiding responsibility. And he's, as Juan points out, he's playing kind of a game with the argument about total numbers. We're past that. No one's accusing him of fudging total numbers. It's the attribution of where COVID came from, which is rest homes versus dying in the hospital. And when he's talking about information, you have to remember, he was at the top of the information chain. It was, you know, who can forget his daily briefings, how everybody lauded how wonderful they were. And so he was taking credit for these daily briefings when the information was wrong. And then suddenly the information became real and right. And now he's blaming an amorphous villain. Lastly, Judge, there's something that does bug me. De Blasio is gaining political cover from this because Cuomo's story is Cuomo's screw-up is such a huge national story that it gives de Blasio, the worst mayor in history, a free pass for his own destructive incompetence.
But Greg, not for that long. He'll mess up immediately. Jillian, in the last question to you, well, you know, he said, you know, if you lie, you know, and it's inaccurate, you know, I'm gonna hold you to it, which kind of folds right into his threats to assemblymen and his dismissal of R. Janistine. You know, this guy is clearly a bully. How is this going to end for him?
Well, I think there's going to be, if nothing else, there will be political consequences here, Judge. By my count, he's now facing the potential for an official impeachment proceeding. He's facing the possibility of losing his emergency authority powers, which essentially means that as governor, he can't help lead policy decision-making during national crises in his state. The third thing that he's facing here is voters when he's next up for re-election. We'll see how they react here. But a quick note on part of why the void of information itself was such a problem is because, remember, that the state of New York, the city of New York, was what seeded this virus spreading across the rest of the nation. It's not like the Cuomo policies just impacted people at nursing homes in New York State. What happened there spread across the rest of the country over the ensuing months and really helped seed the virus spread all across the nation for millions of Americans. The onus was on them. To produce the numbers at the beginning.
In addition to that, I think the void is also due to the fact he was writing a book, getting an Emmy, you know, all that stuff. But anyway, up next.